KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. All new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E Fueling Excellence, McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, an evening high-speed chase in Barrigada caught on video. Plus, Guam Police Department's top brass responds to the latest viral videos depicting violence. And two local women make history, becoming the first in the territory to sign up as infantrymen in the military.
Holiday and good evening.
Well, we begin with a rather bizarre scene unfolding Thursday night. Take a look at this high-speed chase with Guam Police.
There's a stolen car that was just posted.
This video was captured along Route 16 near the Barrigada intersection. Police receiving a report of a vehicle that had been stolen from the Dededo Sports Complex Thursday afternoon. A couple of hours later, authorities spotted the car, and that's when the chase began. Officers caught up with the suspect in Harmon. One person has been taken into custody. Guam Highway Patrol officers are handling the investigation, though still no word on the suspect's identity or charges at this time. No injuries have been reported, but police say the stolen car and a patrol unit received minor damage as a result of that pursuit.
Well, a verdict is in. Late yesterday, a federal jury returned a guilty verdict against Wilfredo Lopez. The 30-year-old was on trial for attempted enticement of a minor and transfer of obscenity to a minor. Last year, a special agent with the Air Force Office of Special Investigations posed as a 13-year-old girl on Craigslist. Lopez testified that he responded to the ad for massage services and exchanged sexually explicit photos with the user who went by the name of Britt. Lopez said he knew he was being catfished, but went along with it because he desperately wanted to get out of the military to avoid paying alimony and child support. Sentencing is set for December 13. Fight videos going viral. A string of them have circulated. And as we reported, one of those recordings has since led to the arrest of 4 people, including a teenager. Tonight, the top brass of the police department responds to the incidents caught on camera.
Point and shoot. People around the community this week had their smartphones at the ready, capturing these violent images occurring in the days following the storm. GPD Chief of Police J.A. Cruz speaks with KUAM about the issue that's been blasted on social media.
These are isolated incidences as we understand it. This is definitely not related to the storm. This is not a storm-related matter with regards to the issues of the violence that we're seeing in the community. But nonetheless, we are dealing with it accordingly.
As we reported, this video filmed on Amonte Street in Dededo led to 4 people being arrested. Another one surfaced of a fight at the Agana Shopping Center.
The investigators from our Criminal Investigations Division have some very solid leads with regards to that video. And they continue to work that particular case to hold those individuals accountable as well.
Overnight, this video also forwarded on group chats and posted elsewhere online. Cruz confirming Dededo precinct officers responded.
They have taken a complaint and they're conducting the follow-up investigation.
Each case and recording as they come in, the chief says, is thoroughly investigated, but he does caution one thing.
The public has a tendency to catch it on film and then report it to the Guam Police Department as a second or third thought. We would ask that the people of Guam please call 911, contact the Guam Police Department, because a lot of times the police are coming out there and by that time people have dispersed.
Though the recordings become helpful evidence for investigators, Cruz says safety is most important, especially for the victims involved and those behind the camera. Chief Cruz met with the administration today to discuss the ongoing crimes involving our island's youth seen in these violent videos. They plan to step up police patrol. Governor Calvo called this type of behavior, quote, disruptive and unnecessary. He said they also plan to hold parents responsible for failing to take control of their children.
The Italian man accused in a couple of skimming incidents is making a push to get the case thrown out. Defense counsel arguing that his client's rights were violated when police made his arrest. Here's more from today's court hearing.
love this story.
A Istanbul Fire Station Unit 12 responded to a structure fire Friday afternoon at Çalın Gualiak in Dededo. Neighbors say that they watched as the tin structure was engulfed in flames, but GFD and a nearby GPA crew worked quick to respond. They were able to get it under control. No injuries were reported, but neighbors say one man and potentially 5 others were living in the structure, but no one was home at the time of the fire. Firefighters are looking into what sparked the flames. History is made as 2 local women become the first from the territory to sign up as infantrymen in the military.
You, Chris?
No,
not so much, but you heard that right. A position that in recent years was only open to men. These 2 women are now ready to take on basic training in a few months as they prepare themselves for what's known to be one of the most physically toughest jobs in the armed forces.
Gearing up to be the first line of defense.
Infantrymen, is that what we call it?
Yes. Infantry woman.
22-year-old Ada Suzuki and 24-year-old Ramirez Madrillo have been sworn in.
So help me God. So help me God.
Both officially taking on their career in the Guam National Guard.
More power to us. Yes. More power to us.
The pair now becoming a part of the island's history.
These are our first 2 that were recruited fresh off the street into the Guard, into this MOS.
In 2015, the Secretary of Defense lifted the job restriction, allowing women to enlist for these specific positions. Ada says her interest in serving her country and island started when she was in JROTC in high school.
Graduated from high school, I still wanted it. Graduated from college, I still wanted it.
Her motivation to enlist only growing, and there was no questioning Ramirez and her wanted to be infantrymen.
Don't you want to challenge yourself? That's what I always want to do.
I like the physical part of things, so infantry is the way to go for me.
Both were joined during the ceremony by family and fellow Guard members.
You're going to make it through it. Just don't quit.
And leaving these words to encourage other women out there.
I think everybody has a fear, but I think we should just work on conquering them. You can do this. If we could, then you can.
You just have to have a strong mentality, and that's what I'm aiming for.
But we know they're going to go out and make Guam proud.
Now, the first woman of the Guam Guard to become an infantry officer led that oath. The 2 will head off to basic training in February of next year. We also want to congratulate Stephen Joseph Borja Cruz, who enlisted as a combat medic on this historic day for the Guam Guard. He, too, was joined by his family, including his father, GPD Chief of Police, J.I. Cruz.
Now we're going to go back to that story from a little earlier about the Italian man accused in a couple of skimming device incidents from back in the summer. He wasn't informed of his Miranda rights, specifically his right to remain silent, at least not in a language he could understand. This is just one of the arguments presented by defense counsel Rocky Kingry. The public defender represents Nicola Marinelli, the Italian national arrested in connection to 2 skimming devices recovered on Bank of Guam ATMs. Marinelli doesn't speak English and requires an Italian interpreter for each of his court appearances. According to earlier filings, Marinelli, through an interpreter, told police he was in Italy and strapped for cash when he met a man named Michel, who convinced him to come to Guam to install skimming devices. Michel, court documents state, may be connected to organized crime in Italy. In court Friday afternoon, Kingry argued that his client, who was seen at the Tamuning Pizza Hut location, was held against his will for 8 or 9 hours by police, who used Google Translator for their initial exchanges. Police later had the assistance of Roberto Fraccassini, an Italian speaker. Defense alleges Fraccassini engaged in quote-unquote trickery and had Marinelli sign off on paperwork without understanding what he was agreeing to. Fraccassini, defense reported, is a quote counselor to Italy, end quote, and citing the Geneva Convention, cannot waive or interpret on behalf of the defendant. GPD officers Eric Barcenas and Peter Leon Guerrero both testified to their encounters with the defendant. Barcenas stated Marinelli wasn't held against his will and that, quote, he was free to leave, end quote. Leon Guerrero, who conducted the interview with Marinelli at GPD's Teton headquarters, testified that he read Marinelli his rights line by line, which Fraccassini translated for Marinelli, who initialed off on the paperwork. Marinelli, it was also noted, wasn't in handcuffs for the duration of the interview. Recasini was also set to testify. KUAM wasn't able to get his testimony as of news time. Marinelli remains behind bars on $5,000 cash bail. Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on. And the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Ariola at 472-6114.
Win adventure in the ITNE Explore Your World Million Mile Giveaway. Every week from July 16 to November 2nd, we're giving away 60,000 United Mileage Plus miles to ITNE postpaid and prepaid subscribers. Imagine where you could go. Go on a weekend getaway to the Philippines. Enjoy fresh sushi in Japan. Itadakimasu. Sip a latte at a cafe in Paris. Or use your miles for shopping and other rewards. It's your world. Explore it.
I registered to vote because I understand it's important for my voice to be heard, especially concerning issues that will affect me and my island.
So whether you're young
or young at heart,
please register.
Zambota.
Afade, I'm Simon Sanchez. I'm running for the CCU and I approve this message. Let's continue our progress.
Welcome back. Governor Calvo quickly signs into law an emergency funding bill to help cover some of the costs of the typhoon recovery effort. Senators passing the measure Thursday night, authorizing the governor to take $2 million from the Healthy Futures Fund and the Guam Highway Fund. Administration spokesperson Oya Nirarika.
So, this is, of course, a bill that was sent down in response to an emergency situation as we work on recovery. So the speed with which the acting speaker brought this to the legislature and allowed her peers to act upon it, it was very much appreciated.
The vote was 10-1, with Senator Michael Soniclas being the only one against it after making multiple attempts to reduce the authorization to $1.5 million. You can read more on that 5-hour discussion from Thursday's special session on our website.
Throwing away the trees that fell after Typhoon Mangkhut. Volunteers are working with mayors, EPA, and FEMA to set up areas to properly dispose green waste. The branches will be turned into mulch that can be used to replant yards. Here's Kenneth Ryan Cruz, a volunteer.
All we do is collecting any old household trees that broke, grass and all, and everything. But besides that, you're not allowed to bring any wood items, trash, or any other household like bed matches and all. And that's it. That's all you need to do.
Even though the view's none of me.
This free green waste collection in Dededo will continue through the weekend across Benevente Middle School from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can contact your village mayor to find out if they're collecting green waste near you. We should note that EPA has strict regulations that you can't burn trees in your yard unless you have a permit.
As of Friday morning, GPA says 93% of feeder lines are energized. GPA crews continue to work through the night in southern villages and pocket areas across the island. We caught up with two crews heading north to Dededo and Jigo. Ramon Chito Siriano was part of the crew heading to Machinal, Dededo, who says GPA is continuing to work to power homes in challenging areas up north.
We're working 16 hours every day. We just tell them that we'll see and we'll try our best to give you power.
Now, the Power Authority does warn that even if you do have power, you might see fluctuations, reminding the community to stay clear of dangerous fallen lines that can spark. Officials are expecting power to be restored Saturday down south, and they also thank the community for their patience.
A typhoon relief drive is being sponsored by Putei Latexan and the Hadza Foundation. The goal is to provide donations for families in Guam and Rota affected by Typhoon Mangkhut, collecting toiletries, canned goods, blankets, towels, candles, diapers, wipes, and all other essentials. They're working directly with officials and their Rota families. So far, the group has already sent 19 packages of supplies. Thanks to Anita Myers of Star Marianas, accepting donations through Friday, September 21st. You can donate at Health Shack in Agana, Gumazamti in Tumon, and San Vicente Catholic School.
Also helping with Rota relief efforts is the Western Pacific Islands Association of Fire Chiefs, along with the Guam Fire Department and Anderson Air Force Base Fire Department. A drive for donations is being held for non-perishable goods, cleaning supplies, flashlights, batteries, beddings, toiletries, and even diapers. According to GFD Chief Joey Sinicholas, it was a phone call from Fire Commissioner Clyde Narita of CNMI Department of Fire and Emergency Medical Services that prompted them to spring into action to help our fellow neighbors.
He definitely described some very rough and conditions. They're definitely without power. Their water capability has just been brought back up, I believe yesterday, but they're pretty much starting from the ground up.
Although the first shipment of donations will be made on Saturday, the drive will be ongoing. Those who wish to donate can drop off items either at the Agate or Tumuning fire stations or at the GFD headquarters at the DNA building in Hagåtña.
Keeping with Typhoon Mangkhut recovery efforts, fire recruits from the 21st fire cycle helped get GDOE schools prepped and ready to restart the school year. Battalion Chief Dean Nuggan, who is the head of cadre for the cycle, says fire recruits handled removal of debris and vegetation at several of the island elementary and middle schools.
The attitude with the recruits was, one, very excited to be a part of the recovery mode of which we were in, and then two, a learning a stage for them to understand what the incident command and what our duties are as responders.
Again added that during the recovery mode, the fire recruits are no longer students at GCC, but rather responders.
It was the Democrats' turn this week to appear at the Chamber's Guam Young Professionals Committee Senatorial Forum. The candidates had the chance to share their views on the economy and other, mostly business-related issues. The two-hour forum is followed by a mixer to give GYP members a chance to speak one-on-one with the legislative hopefuls. Last week's forum featured the Republican Party senatorial nominees.
It won't apply to her, but outgoing Congresswoman Madeline Bordallo is proposing a series of rule changes to provide more voting rights for territorial delegates in the upcoming 116th Congress. She's asking the House Rules Committee to restore certain floor privileges they previously held. Her office released her previous testimony from 2016, where she defended one of her key proposals.
Permitting the delegates to cast non-decisive votes in the Committee of the Whole will not lessen the representation of the 435 members from the 50 states. Rather, it would allow the 4.5 million Americans who call U.S. territories and D.C. home to know where their only elected representatives in Congress stand on these issues.
Bordallo is also proposing the adoption of new privileges, such as allowing territorial delegates to vote for the Speaker of the House. She says she has the support of all the other territorial delegates as well as the resident commissioner from Puerto Rico.
Well, celebrating 231 years of liberty. It was September 17th, 1787 that the United States Constitution was adopted. Presiding Judge Alberto Lamorena and Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio led a proclamation signing at the judiciary to declare Constitution Day and Constitution Week on Guam.
We all can appreciate the doctrine that has given our democracy the freedoms that we all appreciate. Every one of us in our entire careers have endeavored to stand behind the principles and stand behind those who sworn an oath to the Constitution, who vowed to uphold democracy and making sure that we abide by the foundations that our forefathers created for us.
Constitution Week provides us with a unique opportunity to promote public understanding and appreciation of the importance of the United States of America Constitution by engaging community activities such as outreach educational programs to our Guam schools by our judicial officers, attorneys, and law clerks.
Activities will be held throughout the week leading up to Constitution Day on Monday, September 17th.
Sports is next, but first a look at your weekend weather.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Half a day, hungry drivers. Are you spending more time on the road? Shell has teamed up with Wendy's so you can buy fuel and eat free. Just fuel up 7 gallons at any Shell station and get a coupon for a Wendy's cheeseburger or chicken nuggets. Or use 2 coupons to redeem a Wendy's cheeseburger meal with fries and a drink. Fuel up at Shell today because this deal won't last long. Quality service, fuel and food from Shell and Wendy's.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J. All right, guys, welcome to Sports. I'm Andy Wheeler, filling in for Double D. We're going to go ahead and get things started with your Dial Rent-to-Own Athlete of the Week.
We're here, Dial Rent-to-Own Isagana, for our Athlete of the Week. Today we have JFK cross-country runner Chastity Minor. Jack?
Congratulations. On behalf of Dial Rent-to-Own, who would you like to donate your check to?
Guam Cancer Care.
Being a freshman and heading into this year's cross-country season, what was some of your goals for this year's season?
My goals was to become faster, train harder, and beat my own times for everything that I've come.
Your school is known for being a running school, and your coach definitely has a lot to do with your success.
It's fun running because he always pushes us to become better, encourages us, and he'll probably, like, during the weekends, we'll run like at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning just to run, and like before I meet, he'll be like, make sure you eat your carbs, eat breakfast, and all that stuff.
Roughly how many miles a week do you think you run?
Probably 8. Yeah, 8 miles.
First couple of races in the books for this year's season. You were fortunate enough to cross the line first overall in the female division. What is it like competing so far this year? I know there's been a couple of wet races, but you've also had 2 races at home.
Yes, girls are very competitive, and I've tried to pace myself with them and try to be up there with them or ahead of them to become better.
And let's talk about your fastest time this season.
Yes, my time was 22:37. I try to be myself to be faster, and if I see someone there, I try not to panic.
And who are some of the other teams you're looking forward to race against to not only hopefully stay on top, but kind of push yourself for this year?
I've heard academy girls are very competitive, such as St. John's, and almost all the schools are competitive, so I've tried to push myself and work hard during practice.
All right, congratulations. Stay tuned to our next Dow Red Zone Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by...
Thanks, Double D. Don't forget to catch all your NFL action right here on the stations of KUAM. Our early game this Monday on KUAM TV 11 will be the Colts and the Redskins game. Adrian Peterson got the first start against the